Intersex, ambiguous genitalia, sex assigned at birth, sex and gender markers, assigned sex versus gender identity, intersexism. These are some of newer terms you may have only recently encountered, or you will probably eventually encounter. And they all touch on intersex people, meaning, to understand the intersex condition and the plight of intersex people, we need to talk about these and more. When a baby is born, its sex is assigned by a doctor, or whoever is attending the baby's delivery. There are the people who say, "It's a boy," or "It's a girl," and they often only base their decision on the genitalia that they see on the baby. For some people, this is problematic, mainly because there are sex characteristics that are not aligned with what's supposed to be male or female, and some of the sex characteristics may also not be immediately visible. People have primary sex characteristics, which, other than the gonads, are directly required for reproduction. Some of these sex characteristics can be seen, like the penis and scrotum for males, and vagina for females. But some are not immediately visible, such as the internal organs like the vas deferens, prostate, and urethra for males, and the uterus, fallopian tubes, and cervix for females. Some sex characteristics also only appear later in life, usually the secondary sex characteristics. These include facial and chest hair, increased body hair, pelvic build and upper body muscular build for males, and relative lack of body hair, thicker hair on the head, rounded hips or figure, breasts, and the menstrual cycle for females. This is the case for intersex people. So what really is intersex? Intersex is an umbrella term describing people whose biology doesn't fit what's traditionally considered as male or female. It's an umbrella term because it covers many categories of things rather than a single specific item. Meaning, intersex people are born with sex characteristics that do not fit typical definitions for male or female bodies. These sex characteristics vary, including sexual anatomy, reproductive organs, hormonal patterns, and chromosome patterns. Being intersex is different from a person's sex and gender identity. This is because intersex people may have diverse bodies, but they also have different sexual orientations and gender identities. No matter their sex characteristics, they may identify as male, or female, or neither. And they may identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, or asexual. Exactly how many intersex people are there? 1.7% of the population are intersex. This means that intersex people are not rare. In the Philippines, with a population of over 110 million, the number of intersex people may reach over 1,870,000. And in truth, the actual number may even be higher, except that identifying the exact number of intersex people is difficult. This is because even if being intersex is an inborn condition, the truth is that intersex anatomy doesn't always show up at birth. For some, the intersex anatomy is not noticed until they reach puberty, or after finding themselves as infertile as adults, or when they die of old age and were autopsied. Some intersex people also live and die with intersex anatomy without ever knowing this. There are over 40 differences of sex development. This is the currently accepted number of intersex variations. These differences can be classified into many categories including chromosomal, gonadal, and anatomic variations. Genetic variations among people with differences in sex development may be identified through genetic tools. These include microarray analysis and next-generation sequencing techniques. In the past, a term used to refer to intersex people was hermaphrodite, assuming that a person is both fully male and fully female. This is a physiologic impossibility and is misleading. But some intersex people have been reclaiming the term. Another term that emerged in 2005 to refer to intersex conditions is disorders of sex development, or DSD. This is erroneous because it presupposes that being intersex is a disorder that needs to be treated. Since its beginning in the early 1990s, the intersex movement has challenged the idea that intersex bodies are abnormal or diseased. Yes, there are some intersex conditions that may be symptomatic of underlying medical problem, but the intersex status itself is not a pathology. There is nothing to cure in healthy intersex people, and if there are underlying medical issues, all medical interventions on intersex persons should have prior, free, and fully informed consent. It's important for the issues of intersex people to be given attention. It is always good to know. So let's start the discussions.